Well, let's just start by saying this. 2020 was freaking terrible, dude. Like, I don't know. Alright, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Each Adventure channel. My name is Josh. And, what's going on? What's going on? This is, my first ride of 2021. I am out here at, Mirage OHV area. Woo! And, oh, feels good. Feels good. It's a little cold. It's a little windy. But it's not too bad. Actually, once you start moving around on stuff, it's actually the perfect temperature right now. But yeah, it's Sunday, January 3rd, and I just wanted to come out here and make a video and kind of talk to you guys a little bit, do a little reflection back on 2020. I do these videos pretty much every year. I'll do like a year in review video, and we'll talk about the channel stats and kind of what I have planned for the next year. This year, though, it's going to be a little different. This year, I'm not going to talk so much about the channel stats because 2020's kind of taught me a couple things. So we'll get into that. Hopefully, we don't crash or anything like that. Riding back out in these hills, there's some good technical bits, and it's rocky, and it's gonna be a good time. Whoa. Well, let's just start by saying this. 2020 was freaking terrible, dude. Like, I don't know. It's hard to like really talk about it without just being like disgusted. And the thing is, as awful as the year was, it also wasn't that bad either. So I think it all really comes down to perspective. It's just one of those things. It's hard to sum up without being caught up in the politics and all the other stuff that went along with 2020. And so I'm gonna try not to do that in this video because we could go down a pretty deep rabbit hole if we do that. So I don't want to do that. I want to keep this kind of positive and just a good reflection on 2020 and what I hope will be a great 2021. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Woo! As far as the channel goes, like I said, I'm not going to get really into the statistics of it. Mainly the things that I look at is whether my watch time's going up, going down. Obviously I keep an eye on subscribers. But above and beyond that, I really don't pay much attention to the other stuff. I mean, there's some cool things to look at to where you can see, what your click-through rates are and, where your traffic's coming from. So there's some cool statistical analytics that's helpful. But, as far as going through, like, how many likes and, like, specific watch time, all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to do that this year. So all I'm going to say is that as of the new year, basically, we've just passed 5,200 subscribers, so it's about 1,200 more than what we had around this time last year, which, I was hoping for a lot better than that, but like I said, as is all things 2020, subscriber growth definitely wasn't there. But I will say, though, that, I'm thankful for every single one of you guys. You guys comment on all the videos, hearing you guys' stories and perspectives on things, asking questions. This is why I do this. It's not about having like a bajillion subscribers or anything like that. Whether I had 6 or 600 or 6,000, I like to think anyways that the videos and the purpose for doing all this hasn't really changed. So 5,200, I really want to grow that this year. That's a big goal for 2020. Let's see if we can get to like 10,000. 10,000 was my original goal when I started the channel. I was like, man, if I ever got to 10,000, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. It just seemed like when you're starting at zero, it seems like such a huge number. Anyways, as far as views, I think we're past 1 million views now. I think we're like 1.2 or 1.3 million views. And that's pretty crazy. That's like insane. Like, I've said it before, but that's like a lot of eyeballs. You think that, okay, well, I just make a couple videos and I put them on YouTube, and then you really stop and think about the numbers. Like, that's a lot of people watching you just, you know, out riding dirt bikes, basically. Not well, I might add. So, that's quite a bit. So, those are the kind of two that I keep an eye on. Total views, total subscribers. Obviously, the counts, you know, they go up and down throughout the month. This last month in December, for whatever reason, that video with Glenn and Garrett and Mike and Marty, the dual sport grandpas in the high desert, 60-year-old rider to that video, I'll link it in the card. But you know, for whatever reason, that video did like really well. Like, all of a sudden it gained like a lot of traction, and it just died off. So it's kind of weird. I think it's because the Traction E-Rag guys put out like a similar type of video for like older guys. So maybe it got some views from there, I don't know. But that's one of those interesting like analytical things that you can dig into if you really want to figure out like where your traffic's coming from and that kind of stuff. So, and while I do find that stuff interesting, and here's why we're not going into every little detail, is that, like I said, if 2020's taught me anything, it's that stuff doesn't really matter. Social media, all that other garbage, that stuff doesn't really matter. And I've talked about this before, like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't think I've ever been over here before. But I've talked about like kind of like my love-hate relationship with social media. And man, just like everything else this year, social media went off the freaking rails. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I don't have any momentum. Let's go. Let's go! But yeah, man, like, outside of YouTube, like, I just can't justify spending so much time on social media, like Instagram and all that stuff, as much as I'd want to. And I think it'd be a cool way to connect with you guys outside of YouTube, and obviously the other creators that are out doing stuff too. A lot of those guys are on Instagram, but I don't know. Like, I don't have the time, number one, and even if I did, like, I don't know how I would balance that, you know, between work and family and all that other stuff. So I don't really, like I said, as much as I'd like to, I don't really do it. And, you know, in one way, it's nice because I don't really have to worry about that or think about it too much. I'm sure with Instagram, it's a whole another thing to worry about when it comes to stats and statistics and, you know, discoverability and all that other stuff. Same thing with Facebook. Even though I have the Facebook page, and I see that a lot of you guys that like that page, which is pretty cool. But I mean, other than sharing the YouTube video links when they come out, I don't really use that all that much either. And some of you guys message me on there, but I don't know. It's just the whole, with everything that happened this year. You know, especially like with the big tech censorship and all that other stuff. It's just like, what are we even doing? The sucky thing is I don't see any of it changing. I actually see it getting worse. And you know, with all the quarantines and the lockdowns and all the other crap that happened this year, I've also realized that social media connections and social media communications are not a substitute for real life connections real people, real friends, real messages. You know, as much as I love you guys and thank you for watching the channel and communicating and talking to me, there's no substitute for real life. And another thing that 2020 has kind of taught me is that I struggle with a lot of stuff. This year has not been easy for me at all. You know, just with trying to make sense of what's going on, and then, you know, trying to balance my professional and personal life, and then also just trying to figure out what the hell I want to do with my life. It's been a year of struggles. It's been a hard year. But that said, there's also been some good parts of 2020. So let's talk about that. I've gotten to go on some pretty cool rides. Not as many as I'd like with, you know, my flying monkey friends and all that. Actually, I think I probably went on one ride, maybe two this year. So that was not good. But I got to ride a few times with Garrett, my buddy Matt. It's quickly become one of my favorite riding buddies. No offense to anybody else. It's just, we got a lot in common. Super thankful to have been able to hang out with him, and we went to camping Ocotillo. I got a video coming with that pretty soon. So that was cool. Spent a lot of time at home with family. You know, with 3 kids and family stuff, that can get a little crazy, but you know, I'm very thankful to be able to have done that, because prior to all this, I mean, I'd be spending 10 hours or so at work every day, and I'd really only see him for like an hour or so at night. And so that was nice. Picked up playing disc golf. That's actually a lot more fun than than you might think. There's lots of alcohol involved, which, you know, may help or hinder, but it's a good time. Got to hang out with my brother-in-law and some of his friends. So that was cool. But it's one of those things that's like, okay, now it's 2021. And not that we should have to have a day to decide, like, okay, like, this is the day things change. You know, new year, new me, all that other crap. But like now, like, I'm really starting to think, like, okay, like, you know, what's my next step? And I think what was hard for me in 2020 is I thought I had things relatively figured out. And then 2020 hit, and it's just like, well, damn, like, I don't really have anything figured out. Like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. And like, I feel like I'm stuck. Oh, there's the fence. Alrighty. But yeah, it's kind of left me with these weird feelings, and it's just like, okay, well, how do I get out of this? And I don't have an answer. And I think that's what's been the hardest part of 2020 for me, is I don't know, like, what's next, and not knowing what my next step is or how I'm gonna get there, or, you know, even if there is a next step, I don't know. But that not knowing has left me with a lot of anxiety this year. Come on, this is one hell of a climb. Just so you guys know, holy shit. Woo! Anyways, I do know the things that I do want for 2021 though. And number one, more balanced life. Much more balanced. I need stuff like this in my life. I need to not be behind a computer screen, you know, for 10 hours a day, every day. Like I said, grow the channel. That's a nice goal. Just, you know, more time with family and friends. Another thing that last year's taught me is, you know, we don't really appreciate the things that we have until they're gone. Oh, whew. And not that things are gone per se, but, you know, a lot of the freedoms that we enjoyed up until March, those kind of got stripped away. And so taking time to enjoy that kind of stuff Definitely something that I need to focus on. I think that we all should, actually. Also got to meet up with Sub D last year. That was pretty cool. So definitely want to spend some more time riding with that guy and some of the other guys too that are doing the dirt bike stuff, YouTubers, that kind of stuff. Because those are fun. I think not only is it great exposure for the channel. I'd be lying if I said that aspect of it didn't cross my mind, but I think that when you have a group of people together that like to film and edit their rides and provide commentary and all that kind of stuff, I think it just adds an interesting dynamic to the rides, because obviously we all love to be out here riding, but we also love to capture those these moments and try to tell a story or just make some kick-ass videos. So I would like to do that. Want to get up and ride with Everride again. Like to ride with Gabe, Torture Test Magazine. I'm supposed to ride with the Broken Enduro guys coming up, so hopefully I'll still be able to make that. Gonna try to do some racing in 2021. That's gonna be fun. We were gonna do the 24 this year, and those plans kind of fell through. We couldn't get a big enough team together, and me and my buddy Matt didn't want to do it by ourselves, especially not really having raced before. So if you guys are interested when it comes time for the 24-hour race in 2021, let me know so I have some names I can reach out to. Alright guys, well, I think this one has gone on long enough. I will leave, oh there's people out here. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I think this one's long enough. But I will leave you guys with this. Regardless of what your position was on things in 2020, I think one thing that we should all do is turn off the freaking news and stop focusing on our differences, but rather things that bring us together. I think the worst thing about 2020 is that everything came politicized. Everything became a battle, and if you didn't agree with someone, then you were just a bad person. And there's going to be no progress towards anything, like I said, regardless of whatever side of the spectrum that you land on. We really need to come together and not be so focused on the things that are dividing us, but the things that bring us together. And just remember that everything in this life that we have is temporary. And the thing is you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. So, I could crash right now and I could just die out here in the desert. I could discover that I have cancer and die a year from now. And while we've driven ourselves so far apart this year, you got to remember that this might have been someone's last year. And it might not even be related to COVID. You really got to think about that. Everything's not apples to apples. I know a couple people that have died this year, in 2020, not related to COVID. It's a stark reminder that we're only on this planet for a very short amount of time in the grand scheme of things. And, we really should make the most of the time that we have. Responsibly, of course, yes, but I heard this phrase on the Dave Ramsey show once. It was a caller, and I don't remember if it was a debt-free scream or if it was just a caller or whatever it was, but it was a very sobering call, to say the least. And the guy basically said, we're living in the dash. We have our birth date and we have the day that we die, and everything else is in that tiny little dash. I can't really say it any better than that. You got to make the most of that dash. Fight for what you believe in. Also respect other people, and make the most out of every minute, because you're not guaranteed another one. So, anyways, that was a very down and dark way of ending this video, but like I said, 2020 has been a year of reflections. I hope I have some type of revelation or an epiphany or something for for what the heck I'm going to do with 2021, but as of right now I don't. But being out on one of these fine machines and making the most of it, definitely on my list of things to do. So anyways guys, that's it. Thanks so much for riding along with me today. If you like this video, please give me a like down below. If you're new here, please subscribe. We like to do adventures like this on a weekly basis, and I would love to have you along for the ride. But anyways guys, until next time, be sure to have fun, take care, and ride safe. Oh, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, be sure to mess that up. Until then, be sure to get out there and have adventures of your own. And I will see you guys next time. Later!
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, please let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button. If you are new here, please subscribe to see more adventures just like this one. For information about my riding gear or the various ways you can help support the channel, please check out the links below or head over to www.eachadventure.com. I'll see you in the next one.